What is going on, guys? So in today's video, I'm going to help you figure out how to figure out what your bait should be. Your bait, right? The people you're trying to target. I'm trying to help you guys figure out what you're going to put in the headline that you're going to create, okay? So this is something that a lot of people assume, they think they already know all the answers. And the one thing you guys are going to need to do when you start this, you're going to have to do customer research. Okay, I don't care if you think you know. You honestly don't know your customer yet. Never assume it. Why? Because here's the thing. Every single person that is interested in the things that you're promoting all have the specific question, right? Have you ever gone through your Facebook or an ad or a site and you're going through some stuff, people are giving you answers and information, but you always still have that one question, right? You're always like, well, what about this? Or how do I do that? You always have an extra question, right? So you don't know. You think you may know. Like maybe some people are thinking the thing that you are wanting to say to them, but you got to look at the majority. You got to look at the masses, because here we are trying to give the people what they want. We're not trying to like, hey, just take our shit and leave. We're literally just like, what do you guys like? You're literally trying to figure out what they like, and they'll tell you. And then when they tell you, when you see a specific response, you're going to make that your headline so that you're attracting the customer. Remember the DirecTV with Dan Henry? Like, you are supposed to bring the people that are already interested to you. And this is how you're going to start, okay? So don't ever assume that you know your customer. What you're going to have to do, like I just said, you're going to have to ask specific questions to at least 12 people in your potential market. So really sit down. Think about what your market is. What company are you in? What marketing? What are you directed with? What are you affiliated with? Travel, health, biz op, loans, auto loans, whatever it is, okay? Credit. If you guys really think about this stuff, okay? Think about potential questions that your target audience might think, and then you ask it, right? So one thing that I might do, or what I've actually done, is hey guys, what is your number one question when it comes to targeting on Facebook? Or let's just say if you're doing a health industry, what is your number one question when it comes to losing fat at a new gym or gaining muscle on a fish diet? Like, you got to be specific. So don't just be asking a broad question. What is your number one question when it comes to health? Like, that's not specific. You know what I'm saying? Health is a broad spectrum. You need to like dive in. Okay, what part of health? Losing fat, losing muscle. Okay, we go to the muscle. All right, what part? You lifting the weights or eating the food? You break it down, okay? And once you figure it out, you're going to be good. So I'm going to read something off for you guys. It's some notes that I took. So I'm going to read it a little slower so you guys can, obviously take these notes down. I don't have enough room on here, and I really don't feel like writing it all out because it's going to be a pain and it's going to be small. You won't be able to see it. So just going to speak slow. Just try to pay attention and understand where I'm coming from. I'll explain a little after I'm not talking. So you need to do proper research by asking very specific questions to at least 12 people that are in your potential market. Right here. It's the last thing I started on. This can include previous customers, but make sure to ask them to answer the questions thinking back to before your services were rendered. Back to when your services were rendered, I thought I was going to continue. Never ask lending questions or offer multiple choices. It will skew the results and not help you. You are looking for patterns of the same answer. Once you have the answers, you can take the feedback that you see recurring multiple times and in patterns and use it in all aspects of your sales copy and marketing. The fact is, most customers feel the same way. So you only need a small sample size, and now you can get you can get inside the head of 90% of your audience without ever speaking to them. Let me explain. You can use Google Forms. You can do free survey apps. Guys can go right to Messenger. If you know people that are in the industry that have good experience, or people that are just getting into a specific industry, like hit them up directly. You can bring them to lunch. You can sit them down. Whatever it is, whatever you got to do to get these questions and these answers, do it. Okay. So what did it mean by never having to speak to 90% of your audience, or getting inside the head of 90% of your audience without ever speaking to them? What does that mean? because you are looking for a pattern. So one thing that we do, guys, and I'll just write this down real quick. Let's see. You're looking for, and one of the ways that I do it, you can do 12. I'd say minimum 12. Okay. The most 100, 200, whatever. You're gonna let's say you do 100. Okay. You're looking for 100 questions people might have based off of the specific question that you asked. Okay, so what you're going to do is when you ask that question, you're going to make an ad on it, or you can just get it however you want, and you're going to watch the responses. Watch them fill in. This guy says this guy says that. I got a question about this, I got a question. And after you get your 100 questions, your 200 questions, you are simply looking for the question that was asked the most, right? Wouldn't that make sense? If one question is asked repeatedly, doesn't that make you assume that maybe that question is asked more frequently than most? So you find it. Find the top 3, okay? Find the top 3 questions that you have seen repeatedly, and then you're going to come up with a headline. Once you figure out that question, you're going to find a clever way to put it in a freaking headline. And that is how you get in the heads of 90% of your people. Because when you ask that question in your ad, they're going to be like, I feel like he knows me. He's got the same issues as me. He knows how to solve that? You're in their head, and they don't even know what you're doing. You're getting in their head. They're telling you what you should ask in your ad. This is how you do it. So if you have no idea what to think of a headline or what to ask your audience. They will tell you. They'll straight up tell you. You will see the patterns. You pick up on the patterns. You tell it in the headline, and watch how many people go right through your ad. They're like, I agree. This makes sense to me. I got a question about that. I want the answers. They go through your funnel. They click all the way through. Maybe they didn't finish, so you retarget them. They come back, and then they buy. All because you asked one question and got a response. That is how simple this stuff is. Okay, so don't overthink it. Don't go crazy like, oh, I don't know what I asked you. Let them tell you. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. That's how you figure out what your bait should be. Thanks for following.